CyDesk is a computer program that links your PC to your telephone. This GUI-based program will make using your phone system quicker and easier and will also allow you to track your calls. Let's get started by opening up the CyDesk program. Go to the Start menu, select All Programs, CyTrack, and then click on CyDesk. You'll then be prompted to log in. Simply choose your name, choose your extension number, and input your password. Now that we're logged in, let's expand that GUI by showing some different options. First, we'll select Show Active Call, then Show My Team, Show History, Search, and Speed Dials. Let's start at the top and explore My Status. The blue icon indicates that we are free and ready to receive a call. Since calls will be monitored and controlled by this setting on CyDesk, you'll need to get in the habit of changing your status on your desk and whenever you come back. Notice what happens when I change my status to lunch. The LCD on the phone indicates that I'm out to lunch, and all the other users on CyDesk will see that status as well. If you are in one of the call centers, the My Status setting becomes very important. The call center calls will not go to your phone unless your status is set to ready. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to call one of the call center groups from another phone.
Thank you for calling Davis Express.
Currently, the phone shown on the screen is the only one in the group. You'll soon be able to see in the display that there is one call in the queue and how long the call has been holding. Now, when I switch my status back to ready, the call will come to my phone. Once I answer the call, my status icon is red, indicating to all users that I'm on an active call. So we're changing to ready. The call starts to come through. Once I answer that call, my status has changed to red, and everybody knows that I'm on a call. The active call window of CyDesk shows me the caller ID of the person who was called and also gives me options on what I can do with the call. I can hang up, I can place the call on hold, I can transfer the call, I can find a history of the number, and I can add the number to my clipboard. There are even more options available on the drop-down menu. Let's place the caller on hold. Notice that loop 1 is flashing on my phone, and in my held calls view, there's the number. If I want to go back to that call, I can simply click on it. Now let's part the call. Use the drop-down menu, select Part Call. Now notice on the phone that Park 1 is flashing. Anybody with a phone on the system can pick up this call by simply pressing Park 1. I can do the same thing with the phone, or just go back to the GUI and double click on Park Calls. Now let's find the call history of this number. Simply press this button. Below, under recent calls, you'll find out how many times this number is called recently and who they talked to. Now let's copy the caller ID information of this number to our computer's clipboard. Now we can paste that in any application, such as a Word document. Let's transfer a call using CyDesk. We're still on the active call. We can go down to Teams, which we'll talk about a little bit more later, and select a person, and we can right click on them and say transfer the call to whoever. Now let's explore the search box. We can use the search box to find other users or speed dials. First, we'll switch to Global Find so that we search everything. Let's look up Sherry. Simply type in Sherry's name in the search box and hit enter. There's her phone and there's her CyDesk account. If we want to call her extension, we can just double click on it. Now let's look for Brent. Brent's name pops up, but you can see he's currently logged out, so we cannot call him. But we can do something else. We can right click on his name and hit alert me when logged in. So now whenever Brent comes back and logs in, we'll get a screen pop indicating that he's ready, and we can talk to him then. Let's take a look at the team box. The team box allows us to add other CyDesk users to our team group. We can then monitor their status, easily call them, and send them a note if needed. Adding team members is easy. Simply right-click on the word Team and choose Set up my team. On the left will be the people who are already on your team, and on the right will be people who you can put in your team. So let's select Brent, highlight his name, and then press the top arrow, which moves him over to My Team. When you're done, hit OK, and now he appears under your team. Of course, he's currently logged out, but Sherry's there as well. We can right-click on her, call her extension, call her mobile phone, or send her a note. Let's try sending her a note. Simply type in whatever you want to say. Hit send when you're done. Now Sherry's going to receive a screen pop and be able to reply back to you if she wants to, or simply close your note. Once she replies back, you'll see a note appear on my screen. And there it is. Now let's move on to the speed dial box. You can set up commonly dialed numbers for quick access, and the process is simple. Simply right-click inside the speed dial box, select Add Speed Dial, input a name, then input the number just like you would dial it, and hit OK when you're done. Let's add a second one. Right-click, Add Speed Dial, and input the number. Hit OK when you're done. Now, I can simply dial a number by clicking it. Now something else I can do is transfer a call to an outside speed dial number. To do that, simply right-click on the number under the speed dial bin and select Transfer. Now that call is being transferred to another outside party. Now let's take a look at the history box. This allows us to view a history of our calls. We can choose from missed calls, outgoing calls, or incoming. We can also dial those numbers back by clicking it.
Thank you for calling North Florida Communications.
Let's take just a second to talk about the auto logout feature. As I mentioned earlier, it's very important to update your status every time you leave your desk and when you come back. If you're a member of an ACD group, in other words, if you're working in one of the call centers, you will not get calls for the group if your status is not set to ready. Now, if your status is set to ready and you leave your desk without changing it, and a call comes in via the call center group, your phone will be logged out of the group automatically, if you do not answer the call. If this happens, your status will change to auto log off for unanswered calls, and the agent on/off duty button on your phone will flash. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to call into the call center.
Thank you for calling.
This phone's the only one logged in. Now the call is being transferred, but I'm not going to answer it. Even though CyDesk shows me logged in, let's just pretend I'm away from the desk. After about 4 rings, you're automatically logged off. If you look at the button on the phone, the agent on/off duty light is flashing. If you look at CyDesk, it says auto log off for unanswered call break. Alright. It's not a big deal if it happens. If it does, simply press your agent on/off duty button on your phone. You'll then be placed back in service and you'll be able to receive calls for the call center. Just changing your status in CyDesk will not put you back into service. You must press the button on your phone until the light is extinguished. You will not receive calls for the call center if the agent on/off button is flashing. Now once I press the button, I'll be logged back in and I'll receive calls. The phone should now ring, and there it goes.